Cheers. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever way you celebrate the holidays. Very cool. As you can see from the title, I just pulled out a bunch of my RockN Christmas vinyl. I do this every year around this time, a little after Thanksgiving. And I not only use the records to play when people are over or I feel like listening to Christmas music while we're doing things, but I also use them for decorations as well. And you'll see a lot of this collection. This is only a fraction of what we have here. A lot of them are compilations and Firestone, A&P, Grants, True Value stores, box sets. And those box sets have cool things on them because you get a big variety. You get Crosby, Nat Cole, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Barbra Streisand, Glenn Campbell. I even have one box set that has a obscure Robbie Robertson song, Christmas song on it, which is I just discovered the other day. So I'm just going to show you a couple of these. Like I said, I also use these for decorations. We put them around the perimeter. We have a little shelf on top of one of the rooms where the Christmas tree is. And it's really cool because a lot of people, I come over, a lot of my boys and my daughter's friends don't have vinyl. They don't have vinyl in their home. Their parents got rid of their vinyl. They're into CDs or streaming now. But I'm going to show you a few real fast. And we're not going to talk too much about them, but classic, probably number one, number two in the world for Christmas, Nat Cole, for Christmas. And this has been reissued a number of times. A lot of these records I'm going to show you are very desirable because they haven't been reissued. This has been reissued many times. It's even at Walmart and Target right now. This one I don't believe is reissued. This is very desirable for the Brady Bunch fan club. And that's Merry Christmas from the Brady Bunch. Very cool, very desirable. And this is on the Paramount label. Here we have one that's pretty much common. You see this quite often in used record shops. Kenny Rogers Christmas. Kenny Rogers also has a Kenny Rogers duet Christmas album, I believe, maybe with Dottie West. But this is a pretty good record. This still has a shrink on it. This is a good one. Sounds very good, very desirable because this actually is the repress of this. The original has the real Christmas card in it. But this sounds very well. You can see here you have a pointillism drawing. When you get closer, it becomes dots, snowflakes, and Shirley Jones, David Cassidy. Very desirable. Here we have a cool one, which is pretty hot. Charlie Pride, great country singer. Probably one of the first African American country singers to chart and to cross over on country music. So I'm a big fan of Charlie Pride. Here we have the jacket with some Charlie Pride ads on it, which is a nice idea because these are perennials. You do this once, you sell it every year. Here's a very desirable classic. On eBay, this goes for a huge sum. Sometimes $100. Burl Ives, have a holly jolly Christmas, and this is an original on Decca, which I'll show you. There's the inner and a really nice Decca there. And here's a cool one, which is really a beautiful sound. Doris Day Christmas album. I believe this was originally a 6-eye Columbia. This is a Columbia Special Products reissue. Doris Day. If you don't know Doris Day, her albums are dollar bin albums, and if you could find some 6-eye Columbias, they're incredible. So cheers. And before I forget, because I always forget, I want to thank everyone for dropping in. I want you to have a safe and a great holiday with your family and friends. And thank you for the subs. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It really helps us out. Here's a classic, only because who's on the cover here, if you can see that. He's a great comedian. You guys out there know, with the violin. This is Dennis Day. Sings Christmas is for the Family. This is on the Pickwick International. It's from Long Island City, New York. Long Island City, New York is in the headlines now, ironically. It's one of the booming cities in the city, in New York City, one of the boroughs. It's actually surpassed population, revenue, traffic prior to COVID. It's one of the boroughs that actually have increased its productivity since COVID. So Long Island City. Here's a really nice one. A couple of old 10-inch White Christmas being on Decca, an original, and a Japanese or Korean copy. I can't really see it here, but it's a Japanese copy that my brother-in-law, Big John, got me for Christmas, one of my treasures. And you can see the label, the inner label, and beautiful label here. Sounds really good. It's in near mint condition. And here's an early Christmas greetings. This is an EP. You're All I Want for Christmas, The First Noel, which they spelt wrong on here. Deck the Hall, Always Away in a Manger. I Saw Three Ships. Good King, We Three Kings of Orient are. Angels We Have, and I Heard on High. And this is with the Andrews Sisters. They also come, the Andrews Sisters come in on Here Comes Santa Claus and the 12 Days of Christmas. So here's a really cool 10-inch EP before the LPs were out. Here's a classic, Do You Know It's Christmas? Charity organization. That's an all-star cast. I'm not going to go into everyone who's on here. I'll just show you. You can freeze that. McCartney, Bowie, probably Michael Jackson, and let me see here. Phil Collins, Andy Taylor, Sting, Nick Rhodes, Bowie, Boy George, McCartney. Michael's not on this one, but James Taylor. And this is the 12-inch. There's also an LP, I believe, on this. Really cool. Here's a nice one. The greatest actor who has since passed, Laurence Olivier. Here he does some great narrations from some Dickens Christmas stories, A Christmas Carol. Really cool. A limited edition. This is a Pepsi Cola. If you can see the label there, Pepsi Cola comped. I don't know if you had a mail away or if you bought 20 gallons of Pepsi, you got that. This is one of my favorites because of the cover. You don't see this. This hasn't been reissued. Songs of Christmas. Here's Bing and his wife in a little staged Christmas living room decoration. And it's the Songs of Christmas by Bing. It has Rudolph, 12 Days of Christmas, Deck the Hall, Happy Holiday. I Saw Three Ships. It's actually some of the same tunes that are on that 10-inch. But look at that cover. That is classic. 50s. Here I have another one, Bing, That Christmas Feeling, Bing Crosby. This is on Decca. And on the back, it has some of the ads for White Christmas, one of the biggest selling, if not the biggest selling Christmas record of all time, along with the Christmas song written by Mel Torme. Here's another one on Decca. This is an import. I believe it's German. Made in German, Hamburg. Merry Christmas, Decca. This is a great jacket. You can see it's got a white label Decca. Here's another Bing that's pretty obscure. I Wish You a Merry Christmas. This is also on Warner. Vitaphonic High Fidelity mono. It's probably gold or, let me see. Yeah, gold. There you go. Really nice shape. And the funny thing is, I would say a handful of these, and I can remember which ones I'll show you, that I've actually bought new in a record store. The majority of these are yard sale finds. People have given them to me. My wife's grandparents, some of them are from their collection, some of the early stuff, her father. And, most of them are flea markets or yard sales or things like that, or used record stores for $1. A lot of these I picked up for $1, and they're very hard to find now. And I could point out a handful of the ones I actually bought. Here's one, Christmas Soul, The Wonderful World of Christmas Soul. This has Jerry Butler, Brooke Benton, Patti LaBelle, Sam Cooke, Anita Moore, Charles Brown, and Sonny Till and the Oreos. So some doo-wop. Pretty cool. Still in shrink. Here's another one which I love, very rare. I love this album, Soul Christmas on Atco, Backdoor Santa, The Christmas Song by King Curtis, Otis Redding, Joe Tex, Carla Thomas, King Curtis, Booker T, Otis Redding doing Merry Christmas Baby. And you can see I get excited for this one because this one, if this is in a record store up on the wall, it's probably a pretty expensive record. And I've had this, for years. I don't think I bought it new. I think I found this somewhere for $1. It's actually has a cutout hole on it. Here's a nice one I always love for the cover. Back in the day, the Italian Americans always had a Perry Como record on hand and always a Sinatra on hand. And this is just great, just the cover art. And like I said, I use these for decorations. I pull the records out, put the records in a crate so I could play them. And after the season, collect all the covers, all the jackets, and put the records back. This is the obscure one. If you older folks out there know Bonanza. So you actually have Little Joe and Haas and Ben Cartwright singing Jingle Bells, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. There's also chatter on here. There's The Wise and Tender Stories. This is a Dynagroove RCA. Very, very hard to find. A pretty cool album. Here's another one which I did a short on. This is an original. I believe it's a 1960 Decca. And as you know, Brenda Lee did Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Brenda Lee was a tiny girl. She was only, I believe, 4'11". She started out at age 12. I think up until the point in the 80s when Madonna had a string of charting singles, she was in the lead for that. She sold, I believe, 100 million albums or 100 million records. She's right there up with Elvis, the Beatles, Beyonce. She's up there. And this is a beautiful Decca. Here's the original inner. And the reason I'm just going to keep this up like this is because just the other day I read online that this record is the #1 Christmas record in the U.S., I believe, 2023, and it charted #1 on the chart, and I think it's the third time in its 65 years of being played around Christmas that it actually charted. So this album is 65 years old, and I did a short on that. You could check that out. Here's a classic. I want to include some Johnny Mathis. I probably have about 4 or 5. Johnny Mathis is a staple of Christmas. Here's another one that's a compilation, but I wanted to put this on because the cover is a throwback to the 50 Santa. And this has Sinatra, Tony Bennett. Here's another one. I have a Tony Bennett record. I didn't pull him. Robert Goulet, Mitch Miller. I have the Mitch Miller sing-along, Andy Williams. And Andy Williams, this is probably one of my favorite Christmas songs. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And that's on here, so that's a keeper. Here's another one. We Wish You a Merry Christmas. This is a compilation, but because of who's on it, I pulled it. Diana Ross, Temps, Jackson 5, Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, and 2 songs from each. Great cover there. He's got his own album he's giving away. Here we have another Bonanza album. I believe it's a different one. Yeah. Oh, no, it's the same one, Bonanza. It's called Christmas at the Ponderosa. Here's another classic. This is an original or an early pressing. Gene Autry, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, a perennial. A lot of rock artists have done this. Chuck Berry, I believe, or he did Run, Rudolph, Run. Keith Richards did Run, Rudolph, Run. And probably Bruce. This is on Grand Prix Records. This is a reissue. Here we have a nice one, which I cherish. A very early Harry Belafonte just passed away not too long ago. This is his Christmas album. Very traditional, right there. Here we have a cool one. I wanted to put in a Chipmunk record. I have some of the earlier ones. This is a reissue. This is on Pickwick. But the Chipmunks, always cool when the kids are around. I put this on. They love it. I pulled one Elvis album. I think Elvis must have 3 or 4 original Christmas albums, and then there's compilations that are really good. This is a Elvis Christmas album. I believe this is a Pickwick right there. And this has a Blue Christmas, Here Comes Santa Claus, Down Santa Claus Lane, Mama Liked the Roses. I believe this is the only album that has Elvis's classic. Elvis's mother loved the Roses, and Elvis sang a song, and they included it on here, which is cool. Here's another one, which is a kind of obscure. If you people out there know Kate Smith, there was some controversy a few years ago with something Kate Smith sang, Kate Smith did. I believe she's played a lot of baseball games. Some of her the national anthem or God Bless America, and that's a Kate Smith. This is a mono on an obscure label. Rondo Records, Kate Smith. Great voice. Here we have one that I actually bought myself at a record store, which was Harmony House, a record store I worked in. I worked in 2 record stores. This is a great one. I love this record. Sounds really good. I believe it's digital. Has Dexter Gordon, McCoy Tyner, Percy Heath, Wilton Marsalis. It's a digital recording at an affordable price. The affordable price was $4.99, which at the time was a lot of money. A lot of records were $3. Here's another classic, an original in mono, Mercury Wing, Patty Page, up with Brenda Lee, Jingle Bells, Santa Claus Coming to Town, I Want to Go Skating with Willie. Don't know that one. The Mama Doll Song, and Where Did My Snowman Go? Down the Drain, perhaps. But here we have that. It's great cover, $1.98. Still has the shrink on it. It's a True Value. A True Value store had these on sale. Here's another one, which I also have sealed. Christmas Time in Carol and Songs with the classic couple, Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet, with Arthur Fiedler. Great cover. And who's that with them? Leoton Price is with them right there. Leoton Price. And this has a Joy to the World, Go Tell It on the Mountain, Silent Night. Here we go, Carolyn. So more traditional, has a Nutcracker Suite. So really cool stuff. And I hope in the comments you could tell me what some of your favorite Christmas albums are, what you play. Like I said, number 1 right now in the country is a 65-year-old tune. Now, we all know Bruce's Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which he recorded live, I believe, at CW Post College. One of my friends, a good pal of mine, was actually there when he recorded that. This is one we're going back to Decca. This is a very desirable one. You don't see this too often. This has been in my collection a long time. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the soundtrack from the TV music spectacular with the voice of Burl Ives. This is on Decca. This is incredible. Here we have another one, Jimmy Dean, who was in a Bond movie, Diamonds Are Forever. So we're keeping that. And this was a probably a Christmas present because it has some writing on it from someone. He does Jingle Bells with Dean and Friends. Have Yourself a Merry Christmas, White Christmas. Jimmy Dean. I believe the Sausage Guy. Here's another one. This is a Capitol, Rainbow Capitol. Roy Rogers and Dale Evans. Christmas Always. Roy Rogers and Dale Evans were staples as far as Westerns in the 30s, 40s, probably 50s. And his horse was Trigger. And these are some of the records I pulled because I don't believe these will be reissued. not domestically, maybe as imports or obscure labels. Here's another one I did by myself, Jingle Bell Jazz. This is a great one. Again, $4.99. I believe digital. Chico Hamilton, Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock, Dave Brubeck, Duke. And you can see that's a cool cover with the barcode. Here we have another one, which I picked up at a used flea market a long time ago. I've never seen it again. It's a cutout, but very, very, very nice. Ramsey Lewis Trio doing Christmas songs. Plum Pudding, Snowfall, We Three Kings, White Christmas, Little Drummer Boy, Eggnog, The 12 Days of Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This was, I believe, I got this at a record, a DJ was selling his collection, or a radio station was selling some of their collection to refund, flip and fund, we call it. And that has the title, WHOL FM. Here we have a cool one, which I just love the cover. And this is A Winter Romance, Dean Martin. And this has Let It Snow, Out in the Cold, Baby, It's Cold Outside, which is controversial. But Dino does a great one. And you can see there, he probably had something to do with the cover art, because he's getting a nice complimentary Christmas look from a skier while he's with his fiance. Here we have another one, which I bought new. Love this album. It's in mint condition. This is a Capitol reissue, Lou Rawls. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. And it has a Little Boy Dear, the Christmas song, which is Chestnuts Roasting. And too many people do the Christmas song. Nat kind of has owned that. But he does a great Christmas song. Here's another one, which is a rare one I'm happy to find. Connie Francis, Christmas is in My Heart. Connie Francis, a New Jersey girl, I believe. Italian descent. Sold a lot of records up there with Brenda Lee. Had some trouble in her life, but look her up. Great sound. This is a MGM stereo, but stereo high fidelity, so I believe it's stereo. Here's another one I bought new. This is Christmas Roadtown. This has Christmas gift wrapped. And Santa Claus is coming to town. Smokey's on here, Stevie. This may be the same one that I showed earlier. Just this is the original. This is a cutout. So I got this for maybe $1.99. Here's another one. It's Stephen Evie sealed. Put that there. This is one that I've always treasured. This is an original. I believe it's an original bootleg from the fan club. Beatles Christmas album. I also have the Beatles Christmas records, the 45s from the fan club, in a box set, which Big John gave me one Christmas. I didn't open it. But this has the cover art of the fan club. Now, if you don't know the story on this, when the Beatles were still a band, every year they would do a Christmas song, Christmas single, and it would send it out to the people in the fan club. And that's what's on here. Every track, and you could see as they got more psychedelia and more substance ingesting, the Christmas songs got stranger and stranger. Here's one I just threw in because it's Disney. This also hard to find because people love Disney, love this record with Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. It's a sing-along as well. And the songs are on the back. And this is a nice one. Here we have something I threw in because this is a classic. This is a Capitol International, the Vienna Boys Choir, doing some Christmas songs. And just to remind you again, a lot of these jackets will be used as decorations for Christmas. And not only decorations, but it's just a historical, attribute that we put in. And when people come in, they've never seen some of these. They've seen the reissues, And so far, I don't believe a lot of these will be reissued or have been reissued. Here's a nice one. We had to throw in Herb Alpert. Herb Alpert, just a classic. Everyone knows his stuff. He has 2 Christmas albums. This is one of them. And Herb Alpert did the music for the 1967 Casino Royale, which was considered a spoof of the Bond films. One of the best Bond soundtracks ever. And speaking of Bond, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, which I always pull out for Christmas because it has Do You Know How Christmas Tree Grown, sung by Nina. This also has We Have All the Time in the World, sung by Louis Armstrong. It's the last, I believe it's the last record, professionally record that Louis recorded. He was ill. He didn't have a lot longer to live, and he actually did this song for the Bond franchise. But this is considered by most Bond aficionados a Christmas album and also a Christmas film. A lot of it takes place in snow, and it's my favorite Bond movie. Here we have the classic White Christmas. This is a reissue. As you can see, a Rainbow MCA. Beautiful record. One of the top 1, 2, 3 records, Christmas albums of all time. Here's another one I pulled out. Sinatra has, I would think, 4 or 5 Christmas records that came out while he was alive. This may be the earliest. This is Frank Sinatra, Christmas Dreaming. And this is on Columbia. And you can see I picked this up for $1 somewhere. This has White Christmas, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Christmas Dreaming, which I don't know, but it's the title track. And here's the back. This might be a 6-eye. The original inner, they were selling merchandise. That's a nice 6-eye. Here we have another classic, Beach Boys. This is Beach Boys reissue, but kept it with the shrink. Was listed for $3.79 as a reissue, probably in the 70s. This has Santa's Beard, which I've never heard. Christmas Day, Blue Christmas, Frosty the Snowman, Merry Christmas Baby. Here's a nice one because it's country Christmas. This is a newer release. It has a barcode. Probably got this for $1. Alabama, Willie Nelson, Charlie Pride, Razzie Bailey. Really real cool cover. Christmas country. Here's another one. Speaking of Willie Nelson, Christmas wrapping, a great record. This has a nice foil wrap, so this is a first pressing. At least the jacket is. That's on Columbia. This has White Christmas, Frosty the Snowman, Pretty Paper, Blue Christmas, Rudolph, Jingle Bell. So he does all the good, high tempo stuff. And it's a great Willie Nelson record. Here we have one, which is a classic. I've always liked Jim Nabors. Jim Nabors is Goober Pyle, Andy Griffin Show, and the Jim Nabors Show. This guy has an operatic voice. These Christmas albums are considered classics, but they're pretty common. They usually go for $1 or $2, and this has the shrink on it. Here we have the last one, and these weren't in any order. It's just the way I pulled them and piled them up. Like I said, I have a slate full of RockN Christmas, and this is about a half-hour video, so I'm going to wrap it up. And here's the Streisand. Season's greetings from Barbra Streisand. So there you have it. We have jazz, we had rock, we had country, we had classical, the Vienna Boys, we had opera. Vienna Boys are classical, pop, country, a lot of good rock, and some classic Beatles. So I hope you enjoyed this, and please keep watching, keep liking. We really enjoy doing these. And let me know what your favorite Christmas records are. I left out a lot. I have Ella Fitzgerald. I have some more jazz. I have a lot more Sinatra's, Dean Martin, Bing Crosby, some of them on compilations, tons of compilations. The best time to buy your Christmas records are after Christmas, obviously. You'll find the best prices. You'll get a lot of great selection. Because before Christmas, prices go up, obviously, because it's in season, like everything else. So if you're looking for some Christmas albums, buy them during the off season, even though you're not going to use them. You will have them. And just the Beatles behind me help. I put that up there because it kind of reminds you of Christmas. There's a lot of snow sequences the boys have on their scarves and things like that. So that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this little segment. I enjoyed doing it. Something I wanted to do since Thanksgiving. So cheers. Have a safe holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Tony's LPs or us are with you. See you later. Bye-bye. And have a safe Christmas and holiday. Ciao.